Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank. Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
There we go. Line 53, Mike. Who that? Watch the shit.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight ends right. Watch tight ends right. You got 4.
This is Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Prescott. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now this throw caught left side. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You've still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now. And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive. Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering. Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision. Bailey's kick is good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3. Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3. Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry now for Justice Hill. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Cleveland. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
baby. That's baby shot.
From the 36, Jackson gets this one to Hill. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Jackson on first down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 13.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This a 33-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at them. They get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand. And a really good backhand.
Get some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep on the ground with Elliott. A beautiful fake. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, it's Weber. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Chill. 53.
On 2nd down and 4. Prescott looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Gets fielded in the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you field a kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott completes it to Austin. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it costs them 2 points.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
55 is my guy, 55. You better be afraid of me.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's coming.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st down, Cleveland, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Mike 54. So we got man.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Squeeze, double. He gets the ball. Let's walk. Bang.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Kill.
Play action. Now Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On 2nd down, Cleveland. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play here for Dallas. 58 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Prescott now eluding the pressure right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. They got the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
At the 27-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous. 66. Put it. Half. Check, check, check. Please. Check, check, check. Rush, twist.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cleveland looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
Come on, let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor, and they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Room here to run. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A gain of 3, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Breaks the tackle now with Allen. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Back now in Baltimore, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. Cleveland, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Jackson's throw caught here by Boykin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Pass from Jackson, complete to Ingram. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson completes it to Davis. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 yards there, first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing. Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
A first down throw for Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Now, how about that? Rattled by a big play on the previous snap, they bounce back, and that's exactly what they needed defensively, getting a big play of their own.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Prescott. He's going to get this to Austin, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Here we go, here we go. He's coming, he's coming. No chance.
Prescott to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down. Great play offensively, defensively. What a disappointment.
And that's why I hurry up and attack right away. You might catch them napping a little bit after that breakdown.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Here we go, here we go.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through